Die, die, die. Homophones can be a problem for students. In this lesson, we'll look at the homophones die, die, and die. Dye is a chemical substance used to colour cloth. Notice the Britlish spelling of colour compared to the American spelling of colour. Cloth is dipped into a solution of dye by the dyer. The fibres in the cloth take on the colour of the dye. Once coloured, the cloth is said to be dyed. Once the dye is fixed, it's almost impossible to rid the cloth of the colour. Because of the permanence of dyeing cloth different colours, we get the idiom dyed in the wool. If we say a person is dyed in the wool, we mean they're a person who holds fast to their opinions, beliefs or habits and will never change. My uncle is a dyed-in-the-wool conservative. You'd never get him to vote Labour in a month of Sundays. She never buys anything in a shop. She's a dyed-in-the-wool internet shopper. This man's dying, but he's not dying. He looks quite healthy. Luckily, he's only dyeing the fabric a new colour. If he was dying, he'd be close to death. If he died, he'd be dead or deceased. Make no bones about it, you know when someone's died. These people died, that's for sure. Or maybe not. Hey, you died already. Get back to being dead. That's better. This is Die. Die's a Welsh dragon, he is. Die's going to pretend to die, aren't you, Die? That's it. Great acting, Die. Die? Die? Phew, I thought you'd really died, Die. You had us all fooled there, Die. I'm glad you were only acting and haven't really died, Die. We might need you for future lessons. To recap, to die turns things a new colour. To die is to stop being alive, and it's the last thing you want to do. And Die is a masculine name in Wales. It's short for David, the Welsh form of David. Something that's been given a new colour using a dye has been dyed. Something that's stopped living has died. But we have the homonym die too. This one's a noun. A die is a cube with 1 to 6 dots on each side. The opposite sides of a die always add up to 7. A die is used in games to produce a random number between 1 and 6. Once thrown or cast, which number will come up on each dice is down to chance. Because we cannot affect the result once the die has been cast, we get the idiom, the die is cast. Once the die has been cast, the result will eventually be known. We, however, cannot influence the result. To cast the die is to take a gamble. The die is cast, declared Julius Caesar, as he crossed the river Rubicon to march his army on Rome and begin a civil war in 49 BC. Interestingly, crossing the Rubicon is also an expression that has a similar meaning to the die is cast. Crossing the Rubicon means that you've embarked on a course of action that cannot be changed, and the results are far from certain. A die is also called a dice, although dice is correctly the plural form of die. 1 die, 2 dice. People generally call 1 die a dice too. We have the expression to dice with death. In this case, dice is being used as a verb. To play a game of dice is to play a game of chance. To dice with death means to do something reckless that could result in you dying. If you dice with death, you might well die. Anyone who smokes a cigarette is dicing with death. There's a lot of vocabulary in this lesson that may be new to you. To help you learn it, I've also created an interactivity at linguaspectrum.com. You'll find hundreds of other lessons there and much more too. Do you enjoy my work? Would you like to help thousands of students around the world learn English, whatever their financial circumstances? You would? Great! You can help by visiting my GoFundMe page. You can also help by liking the video and by leaving a comment. With your help, I'll be back with another video English lesson soon. Goodbye for now.